Steve Parker Audiobooks presents Choose Your Words, written and read by Steve Parker. Mike? Jerry scrutinized the paper in his hand and tapped his pen against his teeth. He casually rested his feet on the desk and leaned back on his chair at a jaunty angle, but not one which risked a possibly painful and definitely humiliating fall. One time trying to look cool in front of the boss's daughter was quite enough to encourage caution in that department. "Mike?" he tried again. Fluorescent lights bathed him in a harsh white glow, but at least they were quiet now. The powers that be had replaced the old, buzzing, flickering tube last week, after a solid month of complaints. Small victories. "Mike!" barked Jerry. He tore his eyes from the sheet and looked over at the other side of his desk to where his writing partner, Mike, normally sat, writing such edifying works as Why You Should Buy a Breville Toaster, they're expensive but good, or What to Do If You're Stuck in Kyoto for a Week in Summer, try not to broil in your own underpants. Mike's chair was empty. Emitting a pointless passive-aggressive sigh, Jerry looked around the office, which was mostly empty. Desks there were, and laptop charging stations, yea, and an abundance of empty work cubicles, complete with abandoned coffee cups, but people there were not. In particular, there was a distinct absence of Mike. Jerry stomped off to the shared area by the elevators where the vending machines were kept, and lo, there was Mike in his full glory. A packet of chips in his teeth while he fumbled with his coins to purchase a heavily sugared can of flavored carbonated water. "You know that stuff is going to kill you, right?" Mike mumbled something crassly biological and insulting past his chip packet, collected his chosen beverage, and headed back toward his desk. Jerry made to follow, paused, then bought a bottle of mineral water from the machine. He hated mineral water and would likely not drink it, but he always enjoyed putting his zero-calorie choice down next to Mike's Def Juice de jour and seeing the annoyance on his face. It gave him a happy little boost. The two sat down on their respective sides of the shared workspace and settled in to work. Mike watched Jerry carefully place his mineral water next to his chosen cola without responding. He then split his chip packet down the middle and splayed it open for easy access to his fatty salt snacks of choice, a move which he knew would annoy Jerry greatly. "You yelled?" asked Mike. "So you did hear me," responded Jerry. "Well, it was difficult not to," said Mike. Jerry glared at him over their respective laptop screens. "Why didn't you say anything?" he asked. "Where does it say I have to drop everything and answer you every time you bellow like a stricken water buffalo?" Jerry eyed Mike's second chin, the result of all the daily sitting and the fatty snacks and sugary drinks. Jerry had had the same job as Mike, and for just as long, but he was a fitness freak and never added a kilo to his university weight, a fact he constantly pointed out to his slowly spreading friend. "If one of us is a buffalo," he began. "Oh, whatever," responded Mike. "So, what did you want?" "I have a writing problem." "I've been saying that for years," quipped Mike. "This is serious," said Jerry. "There's a sound that we have in English, and I have no idea how to write it." Just find a synonym and ignore it," said Mike dismissively. "That's not the point," said Jerry. "We shouldn't have a sound that we can't write. It's not even that uncommon a word." "Okay, Jabber," said Mike, using his friend's most hated nickname. "Hit me with it." "Okay, here goes. It's zhuzhed." "What?" "Zhuzhed. You know, like we zhuzhed it up a bit." "Oh, you mean shushed? Like it was too loud?" asked Mike. No, it's not. Wait, do you really think I don't know how to spell shushed?" Mike managed to look judgmental and contrite at the same time, which is quite a trick. "Not at all. It's not like you'd misspell boat or anything." "That was once, 20 years ago, and I was very, very tired at the time," countered Jerry. "Ah," said Mike. "Tired as a newt, as I recall." Anyway, that's not the point. I want to use zhuzhed in a story I'm writing, and it occurs to me that not only do I not know how to spell the word, I don't think I've ever seen it written down.
I don't think I've ever even heard it, said Mike. Use it in a sentence.
Okay. The party was going to look bland until the decorators zhuzhed it up a bit.
Joojed,
suggested Mike. Juged? That is not a word, and if it was, I don't think it would be a very nice one.
Okay, I got it. Jhujed.
When have you ever seen a J followed by an H in English? Thought Mike.
I haven't.
Right.
But it makes sense, right? An H alters the letter before it. An S is softened to a sh with the addition of an H. And the J in zhuzh is definitely softened in the same way, right?
I mean, maybe.
Right. Solved,
claimed Mike triumphantly. Fine. Write it down and tell me it looks right to you, said Jerry, handing his pen and paper over the shared desk. Mike took it and wrote. He stared at it. He stared at it some more.
No, he finally said. No, that doesn't look right at all.
So I have a point, right? There's this sound in a word we use and no idea how the hell we should write the bloody thing.
Yeah, maybe, but that's not all that unique. What about...
And he made a sound with his tongue at the front of his mouth.
Now, that's a sound in at least one language I know of. Xhosa, I think. African, anyway. And we don't have a letter for that.
I thought we used an upside-down question mark or something.
Isn't that the start of a Spanish question?
Asked Mike. They looked at each other, puzzled, for a moment. Then Mike waved his hand dismissively.
It doesn't matter. The point is, English borrows language from hundreds of other cultures.
Oh, borrow is a strong word, interjected Jerry.
What?
You know the saying. English beats up other languages in dark alleys, then rifles through their pockets for loose grammar and spare vocabulary, said Jerry, grinning.
Nice,
nodded Mike. I like it, said Jerry.
I always liked English is what happens when Vikings learn Latin and use it to shout at Germans, said Mike, and they both laughed. Okay, but this doesn't really help us, does it?
No, not really. I'm still screwed.
How the hell am I supposed to spell zhuzhed? Check its language of origin, asked Mike.
No good, replied Jerry. I can't find it in any dictionary, and Google doesn't even recognize it when it's said. And, of course, I can't write it down to find out how to write it down.
Right, said Mike, nodding. I'm afraid, me old mucker, that you might be buggered.
Yeah, said Jerry, downcast.
If I were you, I would just say snazzy and forget the word zhuzhed even exists.
Right, said Jerry, disappointed. I just hate unanswered puzzles.
Yeah, me too, responded Mike.
You've been listening to a Steve Parker Audiobooks production. For more content, please visit steveparkeraudiobooks.com or find us on YouTube.